Hi, everyone. Anastasia here. Thursday evening. Um, so I am going to talk a little bit tonight. This won't be a long little live. Trying to keep them short because I know we don't have time. Many of us don't have a lot of time, so trying to keep these bite size for everyone. Um, and anyone joining, please feel free to say hello. Let me know you're here. Feel free to make a comment. So I want to come on and talk about my upcoming tapping workshop on abundance and tapping into abundance, tapping for abundance. The workshop is going to be Monday, March 20th from 7 to 9 Eastern Time, and it'll be on Zoom. So we'll gather as a group and tap together. It's always really powerful when you gather in a group. There's so much that's shared and we learn from one another. And that's exactly how I like to teach all of my classes. In fact, I say that I teach, but really what I'm doing is sharing. I'm simply sharing things that I've learned, things that have helped me in the hopes that they will help other people. So the sharing goes both ways. I learned so much from I'll say my students, but really people that come to learn. We're exchanging information and exchanging experiences. And as one person shares, then everybody benefits from that. And it might jog somebody's memory about something, and there's just more healing that happens. So that being said, I have like I wanted to share something exciting with you all. For those that have been following me this week, I did a 3-part series with a friend of mine, Melissa, and we focused on, for lack of a better word, what she's going through with her money story or her money issues, money story. And we did 3 separate sessions. I did Super Connection, which is a clearing for the first one. Then we talked about flower essences that could help. And the last day we did some tapping with frequency numbers. So if you didn't catch that, no problem. The reason that I'm bringing this up is because she sent me a voice clip today saying the um, the job that she has. So she works for herself, but she also works for a company, and she received a raise. I think they reached out to her yesterday or today. And the reason that that's so significant after we did some work this week is because she's new with the company. She's only been with them, she told me, for 4 months. And they typically review you and will do, if you typically people will get a raise after a year. So I can tell she puts her all into everything that she does. She's a really hard worker and she is very, very passionate about anything she puts her hands on. So basically, they're recognizing her efforts and her hard work. So within 4 months, she got a raise that people would normally get at the end of a year with this company. So that is very exciting. It speaks to the power of doing some work, doing some clearing work around abundance. So this ties into what I'm going to share with you all tonight. So I heard this is the first time I've heard this. This is a quote by a gentleman named Bob Proctor. Um, so I think he's an author. I think he is a well-known author in the spiritual community. That's my recollection because his name is very familiar. Um, but he passed away recently, I think within the year or last year. So he has a quote that he would repeat constantly, and this I heard this from someone else. So one of the things he was known for saying is, money goes where it is invited, and it stays where it is welcome. So let me repeat that because it was really powerful. I wrote it down on a sticky so that I can look at it every day. So it says, money goes where it is invited and stays where it is welcome. All right, so let's talk about abundance. And a lot of times when we say the word abundance, we are talking about money and financial abundance and financial stability and security, but not always. So, if you're thinking about joining us on the 20th for the workshop, abundance can be anything that you want to call in. So, it could be an abundance of opportunities that you would like. It could be an abundance of leisure time. It could be an abundance of friends or health. It really doesn't matter. I mean, definitely money. Money is on the list for many, many people, but I just want to throw it out there that it's whatever you desire more of. That's what we're going to be calling in. So, do you want to have more time to play with your grandchildren? That could be something that you want to focus on. Really anything. So, think about what you want. Think about that. And there's something else we'll talk about is what do you want and what do you need? And those are two different things, but you can have both on your list. So, what do you want is some of the things I mentioned, more time. You want to travel. You want to eat out more. You want to improve your wardrobe, whatever that might be. Things that you need are things like shelter, food, a car that works, money to put in the gas tank. So those are things we need, and everybody's list is going to be different. So what do you need versus what do you want? But like I said, both of those things can be on our list, just because most people, when they do a vision board, they'll have things that they want in the future, but you can definitely put things on your list that you want more of, that you need every day. Food, good quality, nourishing food is something that we need. From an emotional standpoint, we all need love. So whether we give that to ourselves or whether we have a wonderful support system of friends or family or acquaintances, groups that we belong to, where we are feeling the love, that's also something that is a basic human need. So again, just wanting to have you all think about that. As I sort of come to a close here, the other thing that we'll do in this workshop is not just really focus on what we want to call in, what we're dreaming about, but as we focus on our desires, resistance will come up inevitably. And that's the reason why we tap, is because fears will come up, old limiting beliefs will come up, the stories in our head will come up that we've been saying to ourselves for ever and ever, a million years. Other people's voices will pop up in our brain. So as we tap, we are releasing those blocks and the resistance and the obstacles and the monkey mind, the chatter. And then we're better able to bring more in, things that we really, really desire. So I did want to let people know that, if they're interested in coming, that we will definitely touch on what we're in resistance to. And that's part of tapping, is acknowledging that and giving it a space to be heard and seen and to breathe. And then it softens. But when we are feeling the fear and the anxiety and the stress and we don't acknowledge it, then it grows, it gets bigger. So we definitely want to acknowledge it and release it, and then we'll call more stuff in. So tapping is something that once you learn it, and if you love it, and I haven't met a lot of people that don't love it, it can turn into a lifelong skill. And it can turn into something that you do on a daily basis. And once you learn how to do it, it can take less than a minute, honestly. You don't have to do round after round after round till you're exhausted. Because the truth is you do a little bit and then you're going to stop and see how you feel. And then you might tap again, or you might tap, at the end of the day. So it's not that you're going to tap for 20 minutes straight and then poof, that issue will be gone. We're moving through layers, and we are allowing things to soften. So you might find yourself tapping more than once on a topic, and that's okay. I recently heard somebody say that when she started to learn tapping, one of her teachers told her to tap for 21 days and to tap every day, I think for between 10 and 20 minutes, and just keep tapping. And the subject might change, and that's okay. You don't have to stay on the same topic, but if you do, that's great. But to just keep tapping and to start to see the shifts that happen. So what I did with Melissa this week was sharing some of the things that I do in session with people. And tapping is something that I will bring in as needed. So I will not do a whole hour of tapping with somebody, but we might talk about a limiting belief or something that has been bothering them, and then I might guide them through a tapping session. So it's something that I incorporate into the work. But the reason I'm sharing this is some of you, aren't called to do a session with me, but you might be called to learning how to tap. And like I said, learning something that can possibly turn into a lifelong skill, um, which is what has happened for me with tapping. I was introduced to it and I started learning it. And now it's just, I actually, I do it when I'm in the car, like when I'm at a stoplight or something. I just start tapping and I tap on where it hurts. That's what I do when I'm in the car. I'll just tap on where in my body I'm feeling tightness and tension. So it can be that simple. And I will share, different techniques with people to make it accessible. And as I said, coming together in a group will just enhance that energy and the power of it for everyone. So the class will be Monday, March 20th from 7 to 9 on Zoom. I will provide a link to register. You do need to pre-register for it. If you're not able to make it and would like to get the recording, please feel free to sign up and I'll send the recording along to you after the class is over. So any questions, let me know. This is something that I really, really, really love sharing with people. And if you feel called, I would love to share it with you. Or if you know of anyone that might be interested in learning, please feel free to share the information on how they can register. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.